Hey guys, what's going on? Tonight we are going to finish up round 4 of the rack packs. 88 Donruss. See who we got. We got Steve Sachs, we got Roberto Kelly, we got Dan Gladden. Let's open them up and see who we can pull. Alright, we're going to put the puzzle pieces there. Get it over here so we can get this up and over here. So we got Dan Gladden, Lance Parrish, Willie Randolph, Chris Bando, Ty Gainey, Bill Wilkinson, Gerald Perry, Rob Deere, Ted Power, Jim Garber, Barry Larkin, James Steele, Mike Marshall, Brett Saberhagen, that's his rookie, Gary Lucas, Hojo, Kirk Gibson, Ozzie Virgil, David Cohn, Cal Daniels, Al Padrique, Alan Trammell, Kurt Young, Ron Hassey, Frank DePino, Kurt Manwaring, and Marty Barrett. Get some room to put the MVP right there. All right, now we got the second one. We got puzzle piece. Roberto Kelly, Jeff Blauser, Tom Candiotti, Bill Bradley, Rich Gedman, Mike Brumley, Carl Nichols, Jim Eisenreich, Tommy Hare, Julio Franco. Then we got Spike Owen, Doug Sisk, Russ Gardner, Frank Williams, Alex Trevino, Ozzy, the Wizard of Oz, Smith, Rick Roden, John Candelaria, Dan Petrie, Mel Hall, Von Hayes, Jimmy Key, Jim Morrison, Mike Scott, MVP. Ooh, MVPs back to back. Alan Trammell, MVP. Then we got a Mark Grant and a Mike Young. All right. We got Steve Sachs, Greg Maddox, Chuck Finley, Mike Young, Gus Polidor, Steve Bichelle, Walt Terrell, Dennis Rasmussen, Bob Welch, Diamond King, Tracy Jones, Danny Tartable, John Lindeman, Jim Lindeman, Jeff Russell, Ken Phelps, Ken Daly, Frank White, Bob Stanley, Steve Jeltz, George Frazier, Greg Booker, Carney Lansford. And we got a checklist. And we got Tom Henke, Danny Darwin, Alfredo Griffin, Dave Rigetti, Tom Pagnozzi. All right. Rack pack number 2. We got Jeff Reardon, Bill Allman, and Alan Trammell. Puzzle piece out of there. Get Jeff Reardon out of there. We got a Dale Murphy MVP. Jody Reed, John Farrell, Chuck Krem, Tony Phillips, Jim DeShays, Terry McGriff, Diamond King's Checklist, Jeff Hamilton, Mike Dunn, Willie Wilson, Mark Eichhorn, a Will Clark Diamond King, Kevin Seitzer MVP, Jim Sundberg, John Habden, Bo Jackson, Greg Matthews, Wally Ritchie, Keith Hughes, Steve Trout, Rick Mailer, Joe Carter, Mike Morgan, Joe McGrain, and a Bobby Meacham. That first pack was a banger. Anytime you get Bo Jackson is a banger. We got Bill Allman, Larry Herndon, Pat Tabler, Shane Raleigh, Rocky Childress, Doug Sisk, Al Nipper, Dave Parker, Bob Welch, Larry Sheets, Mike Jackson, Scott Lusader, Rick Manning, John Shelby, Franklin Stubbs, Rob Murphy, John Tudor, Mike Scott, MVP, Pat Sheridan, Eric Show, Jerry Brown, Andy Van Slyke, Diamond Kings, Bob Nepper, Roger McDowell, Doug Dravicki, Rick Cerrone. All right, we got the puzzle piece. Alan Trammell, Chris Bando, Ron Kittle, Jesse Barfield, Rick E. Horton, Bill Duran, Steve Lyons, Mike Felder, Terry Kennedy, Darryl Strawberry MVP, Bill Madlock, Juan Castillo, Mike Marshall, Oral Hershiser, John Marzano, Greg Gagne, Ray Siraj, Jose Oquendo, Al Leiter, Pete O'Brien, Alan Trammell, Greg Myers, Mark Knudsen, Mike Aldrate, Willie Randolph, Dave Rigetti. All right. We got a Dave Clark, Kurt Ford, and Eddie Williams. Puzzle piece, set it there. Who we got? We got Dave Clark, Tim Flannery, Mark Langston, Mark McLemore, Tim Raines, Diamond King, Ken Oberkfell, Dennis Martinez, Greg Maddox, Dwayne Murphy, Lee Getterman, Willie Frazier, Gary Templeton, Dave Stewart, Jeffrey Leonard, Keith Hernandez, Scott Fletcher, Keith Moreland, Kevin Mitchell, Jose Rijo, Tom Prince, Jamie Quirk, Andre Dawson, Neil Heaton, Tom Newell, Dan Kiesenberry, and a Barry Bonds. Schnazzy got a Barry Bonds. It's off center though, but it's still cool. It's second year Barry Bonds. I think we've only got like one or two of those. All right, we got the puzzle. Kurt Ford, Andre Galarraga, Dave Stibe, Rick Rochelle, Mike Bilecki, Claude L. Washington, Tim Flannery, Alvin Davis, Dwayne Boyce, Devon White, Ted Simmons, Randy St. Clair, Brian Dayett, Mike Davis, Scott Bradley, Kirby Puckett MVP, Chris Brown, Mike Greenwell, Jeffrey Leonard, Jesse Roscoe, Ed Coria, Ed Lynch, Jose Uribe, Luis Polonia, Ryan Fisher, Kevin Seitzer. Got a puzzle piece. Eddie Williams, checklist. Chuck Finley, Juan Behringer, Carlton Fisk, Eric Bell, Jim Gott, Dave Clark, Mike Greenwell, Will Clark, Dwight Gooden, Devon White, Ted Simmons, Scott Terry, Rob McClure, Ernie Witt, Mike Stanley, Richard Dotson, Gary Templeton, Dave Stewart, Mike Heath, Tommy Gregg, Rick Sutcliffe, Jeff Reed, Jose Uribe, and Scott Sanderson. All right, let's get the fourth pack, see who we got. We got Jose Gonzalez, Larry Parrish, and a Carl Nichols. Puzzle piece, Jose Gonzalez, Tommy Hare, Jim Clancy, Jeff Robinson, Dennis Martinez, Dave Stapleton, Dave Parker, Willie Wilson, John Franco, Gary Templeton, Joel Skinner, Mel Hall, Craig Reynolds, Mike Moore, Jose Uribe, Gary Thurman, Tommy John, Eddie Williams, Pat Sheridan, Rick Mailer, Mark McGuire, Jack Clark, Jim Gott, Dave Anderson, Jim Eisenreich, Gary Pettis. Another puzzle piece. Larry Parrish, Dwight Evans, Rob Murphy, Andre Dawson, Terry McGriff, Luis Polonia, Scott Sanderson, Chuck Finley, Mike Young, Mickey Brantley, John Morris, Thad Bosley, Don Mattingly, Shane Raleigh, Roy Smalley, Dave Leiper, Randy St. Clair, Scott Terry, Jeff Russell, Ken Howell, Manny Lee, Manny Hernandez, Dennis Eckersley, Franklin Stubbs, Greg Matthews, Dwayne Ward, and Jeff Robinson. Alright guys, last bunch for this video. Carl Nichols, Larry Anderson, Kent Urbeck, Luis Aguayo, Roger Clemens, Doug Sisk, Al Nipper, Dave Parker, Bob Welch, Larry Sheets, Mike Jackson, John Candelaria, Dan Petrie, Bill Dawley, Gary Getty, Glenn Davis, Eric King, Ruben Sierra MVP, Pat Sheridan, Eric Show, Jerry Brown, Andy Van Slyke, Diamond King, Bob Nepper, Pedro Guerrero MVP, Dave Anderson, and a Mike Schmidt. Alright guys, that is round 4, part 1. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot. Like, subscribe, share, comment what you like, what you don't like, and if there's something else you want to see. Thanks a lot.